Is that how? Yeah. So we're back for another podcast. Today we're with Jake Wheeler. I've known Jake since the Spellfun days, and it's great. 10 years. It's great to finally get him on. Jake, it's lovely to have you on here, mate.
Thank you very much. It's nice to be on. I like your setup.
Oh, thanks, mate. Little Barley. So Jake, when you're a personal trainer.
Yep.
So 10 years ago, I remember you coming into the gym like a Milky Bar kid, all combed up. Still looks like 21 now, but
Don't feel it.
definitely knees-wise. Getting into fitness. Yeah. Where did you start?
So I started when I first met you at that leisure centre decade ago now.
Jeez.
Yeah. So me and a friend used to go after school, we'd ride our bikes and stuff, and it came at a very good time. I just wasn't very productive in terms of my GCSEs.
Yeah.
As you could imagine. I didn't necessarily turn up to most of them. Managed to wing it most of the time. And then we went to college, and again, like, everyone kind of had some idea of where they wanted to go. Didn't have a clue. Had no idea what I wanted to do. Would bounce around, dropped out of psychology and dropped out of sport and did this and did that. And then one of the guys working at the leisure centre, it's like, there's a apprenticeship coming up for 12 months of about 50p an hour. But I was young, and I assume it's a very similar story to everyone else of how they got into PT, where they enjoyed training themselves.
Yeah.
And they wanted to do it more often. And that's how I kind of fell into it. I fell into it, you could say. And yeah, a decade later, I'm still falling into it, I guess.
Well, mate, lot to learn, lot to hear. It's about to learn it. So you started so on that apprenticeship, you started PTing afterwards.
Yeah.
Is the level 2 in it?
Fitness is like, you do a fitness instructor and fitness. And like I say, the money was awful, but you're living at your parents'. You don't really need to do anything else. And we were able to the first one was about a year long. They dragged it out over.
Yeah.
You had to. So
gym level 2.
Yeah. And then they put you through the 3. And the 3, it was only like 6 months.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, it was okay. And then luckily, my first kind of true experience of it was in a gym in London.
Yeah.
The one in Ealing, which was a really good way. Learned a lot there, and a lot of experience was built because we just opened the gym as well. So it was really nice to essentially run it for that short period of time that I was there, and with a lot of new clients that I'd never, I had a guy who was the composer of the British Royal Opera House and stuff like that. So you really had to learn a lot.
Yeah.
And it's funny because of what my demographic that I work with now, I had to teach a class of over 65s.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what considerations you had to do. I didn't know what the warm-up would be different. So I did a warm-up. It was a class of 30. I did a warm-up, and I did an exercise that brought on postural hypertension. I didn't know that. So I did this warm-up, and 6 people out of 30 fainted.
Oh my God, mate.
So hence why there was a lot of learning going on.
Learning on the job, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Because I was like, why did they do that? And then I had to research as to why, to avoid.
What was the exercise? Burpees?
No, it was just the warm-up. You know when you go like a football warm-up, when you walk in and then you swing and touch your toes? I don't know what it's called, but like...
Touch your toes, like hamstring stretch,
Yeah, like kind of like a walkthrough, but because of the changes in postural height, they went down, they went back up. I was like, boom, 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 boom. I thought, sorry guys.
24 to go.
I was only 18, I think.
Still 18 now, mate.
I don't know, actor.
Oh, mate, that's Jesus.
Yeah, so it was a bit of a deep end. Deep end. Here you go. Very thankful. Learned a lot.
Decent. So, your background is boxing.
Yeah.
When did you start boxing, and how did you get into it, and where are you still doing it now?
Yeah. So I actually originally started with kickboxing when I was a bit younger, for a bit, a real short period of time, and not even that short, but I was bad. Longer than that, but I was bad. I wasn't great at it. And obviously, had a couple of knee reconstructions since then, so kickboxing was never on the card. football was then no longer on the cards, athletics no longer on the cards, and I needed some kind of competitive
edge just to keep you going. Yeah,
exactly. And my brother was always into combat, like MMA, whatever it may be, and I wanted to start boxing because I needed something that didn't have studs in. So that was probably, I want to say 17 or 18, maybe 18 actually. And I went to Hounslow Gym West Side.
Yeah.
John Holland was the coach. It's the coach, and I fell in love with it.
Yeah.
It's so good. Like, for someone who I think is quite passive throughout the day, to allow some aggression out rather than on a night out.
Yeah. Not fighting on the
better. Yeah, and it was amazing. Like, the discipline then you had throughout the rest of your day was just awesome.
Yeah, because like going to boxing, it's like the training, get up early, get there at like 6.
Yeah, some days we would do a lot of evening work as well. So I'd had a period of time off work, and it was just, I just threw myself into it, and it really, really helped. Not that I'm
aggressive
like
guy.
Not that I'm like a professional bloody world champion or anything, but it just gave you really good
insights into
and opened many doors, and you met a very different demographic, very different type of people at these clubs, and it was invaluable to my life and to development at the time. Yeah, especially with like, just as you're going through, I think young men around that 18, 19, 20, whatever, they have the go out, get on the sauce. Then
you like next day you're just gone.
Yeah, and it was really good to get out of that. So I stopped drinking for about 6 months, and I got my head right. Yeah, I know, and that was pretty tough.
That is a big one.
But it really did change my life, and because then I started a journey on more of like self-development then. Yeah. Because I'd never put myself into anything, and it was really not. It was just good to be around these guys. Like, some of them are still boxing now, doing really, really well, fighting professionally. Some of them fell off, but
some of them just do it just stay fit, stay healthy. Yeah.
Same as me in a way. Like, I never wanted to take it anywhere. I like fighting, and
you didn't want to be like Tyson Fury and stuff like that. Yeah,
me that much. I like fighting. I like punching people in the face. I like getting punched in the face, and I like everything that it encapsulates.
Yeah,
you have to be structured. You can't eat poorly because it's a weight governed sport.
Yeah,
coach would be like, "What's your weight today?" And you can't lie because you're on the scales, and you have to be within a certain range. It was just brilliant in terms of structure and everything else. Food goes well.
A lot of discipline.
Yeah, and that you train ridiculously hard, and most of the people in there were doing at least 15 hours a week. Some push more, some push to the 20 hours, and you can't
shy away from hard work.
And as well, the best bit about it I love is if you do lie, if you do shy away from it, you get put in the ring and it's just you in there, and you just get found out. I had so many times where I did have a couple of drinks on, like, after that period. I did have a few drinks, and I'd go to training the next day or even the day after, and I got battered. I got hammered, and it's like, there you go, you deserve it.
I remember you coming to work like black eyes, nose, like there used to be like a tape across his nose.
Still like, it's not looking good. Am I still? No, I've lost it a bit now. Nose is a bit crooked.
Your little shark nose.
Oh God, don't.
Yeah, I remember them days where you used to come in and just be like, battered.
And it's rough. And the thing I think that I take most from it is it teaches you, not me, everyone, it teaches you like suffering in a way.
Yeah.
So most people, I'm really had a privilege. I didn't have to suffer with food. Like, if I wanted food, I ate food, whatever. So when you're hungry because you're 75 kilos, you need to be 70. You got to cut that weight.
You got like 4 weeks.
You have to just suffer. You have to suffer. I'm going to work, grey, like no colour. Not that I'm tan anyway.
Yeah.
No colour in my face. Pale, sick, moody, grumpy, black eyes, broken nose, and it just teaches you that you have to just do it sometimes. Like, get it done for a greater cause, and it's definitely something that I try and instill in clients now. Is sometimes you have to suffer a little bit.
Yeah,
you want to get.
You can always go another rep or something like that. Yeah,
I think that And I like James Smith, but I think that his philosophy of you can have it both. You can have
More flexible
this
approach.
side.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I do respect that. And physiologically, it's true. You can have a cake and lose weight, and like you can achieve your goals like that. I just don't think that the general population or most of it possess the knowledge or the even maybe
information.
Even
I think
a little bit of the willpower.
Yeah.
To be able to stop themselves. Like, people don't know how much 500 calories of pasta is or rice. They don't know that
until it's shown in their eyes.
Yeah.
And then it's like, whoa, okay, that's a different way of looking at it.
So like something I am with most of my clients, not all, because as you know, like coaching, you need to be individual to who you're talking to.
You got to see where they're at on their journey. You can't just put them at, say they've never tracked calories before. You're like, you're going to track calories today, and Sarah down the line's only literally done portion control. Yeah.
So you do, and I'll speak to most of my clients and just tell them truthfully, like, you need to suffer a little bit, mate. Honestly, like, you need to probably. Are you ever hungry? No.
Yeah,
if your goal is to lose weight, you can't never be hungry. Like,
it's either they're bored. Yeah,
you need to have a little bit of hunger. Unfortunately, you probably need to suffer a little bit. I know that's a bit hard.
How many times have you said this to your clients? I'd love to know.
A fair bit. Like, it's a bit harsh. I do agree. And it's
how harsh are you to your clients?
It's not that harsh. But like, ultimately, there are things that I don't mess with. So, for example, if someone is honest with me and said, like, I've had a bit of an eating disorder in the past, that's above my pay grade. I don't know about it. I don't want to comment on it. I will help you with any nutritional advice I can give you, but ultimately, I don't want to get involved in that. I'd rather work with someone who
refer on to
exactly. Like, if you're just general pop, you're in good stead.
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you, unfortunately, you need to suffer a little bit in life. Like, you don't want to get up at 5 a.m. to go for your run because you got a busy day at work. You got to suffer a little bit, unfortunately.
You're savage. You're a savage.
Unfortunately, right? Like, it is what it is. Like, I lead from the front. I do it myself.
Yeah.
Got to do it.
Oh, mate. Your poor clients, they must hate you.
They're right.
I hope it's the young ones, not the older ones.
Anyone can get it.
Oh, Sarah.
It's just different, though. But people still need to suffer. Like, a lot of these people will have lived. So, for example, say someone comes to me and they're 40.
Yeah.
They've never really trained. They've been in and out of the gym. They've eaten what they wanted, done what they wanted for 20 years.
Yeah.
And now they are overweight with high blood pressure, hypercholesterolemia, whatever it may be. And it's like, well, you've been doing what you wanted for 20 years.
Yeah.
You've not made any sacrifices for your health. You've probably made life sacrifices to get in the financial position you're in, but no sacrifices for your health. And now you are paying the price.
You see the price of it.
You need to sacrifice. They're like, oh, I love it. I have to have something sweet after. What are you talking about? You've had it for 20 years. You need to cut that.
Yeah. But then a lot of people say, 10 years ago, I was in the best shape of my life. Yeah. What's changed?
10 years.
Either you're not exercising anymore, eating more, or you're just lazy.
That's true. The lazy one is one I dare. I don't like to put out there, but I don't mind saying it sometimes, you know. And as well, like, what? Yeah, but it just annoys me. People are like, I used to be this. I used to do it. Yeah, that was yesterday, mate.
Yeah.
What about today? I worked out really hard yesterday. That was yesterday. What about today?
Yeah.
What are you doing now?
Yeah.
You know, that was 24 hours ago. No one cares about that. No one cares about your 5K PB last week. What are you doing today?
Mate, you're a savage with your clients. How many clients?
I'm
Christ.
Losing. No. Yeah. I'm not as black and white with them, obviously, but I'm talking as a practitioner. That's how I think. I'm a lot more, you could say, holistic.
You give them a nice little hug. Let's just get that right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe in sacrifice.
Yeah. So, I know you went travelling to Oz.
Yeah.
I think we were probably at the same time away.
Yeah.
Because you were travelling and working working as well, weren't you?
Yeah,
Gym.
I did a bit of both. So I left. I've done it a few times now.
Yeah.
I left a few years ago. COVID got in the way.
Yeah.
Came back, and then I planned to go again. Had all my plans, and then my fiance, brilliant. So I was like, yeah, we said that still needed to go.
Yeah.
And if it still works out after the period of time, great. So when we had, me and a friend, we had 6 months out there, 7 months out there, traveling Asia, went into Australia and had a great time. Came home for the summer.
Yeah. Missed it. Thought.
Yeah, no, came home this summer. April and I were like, right, we're gonna go now. We're gonna go for it. I think I had 2 months in England.
Yeah.
And then we flew out. I can't remember, September last year.
Yeah.
Had an amazing another 6 months, I think, living and working in Australia.
Yeah.
We worked in the Gold Coast for like 5 weeks. I was working in a boxing gym and she was working in a coffee shop. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Best time. New Zealand, amazing. And then after the 6 months, we were in the outback, middle of absolutely nowhere, middle of nowhere. And she's like, I think I'm pregnant. What? I was like, no, don't be silly. Don't be silly. It's just it's the outback air.
Yeah.
It's got to you. And so we flew back to Sydney the next day. She took a test. And bang. Here we go.
Stood.
Yeah, here we go. So it was
Jake sweating.
So it was like, okay, cool, let's go then. So we booked a flight home pretty much that night, and it was just full steam ahead from there. I came back to work, and I'd been throughout the couple of years traveling, whatever it might be. I'd had a plan of where I wanted to go with my work.
Yeah.
And it was the best kick up the arse I could have asked for. We got home, and then my partner's amazing. She got her old job back straight away, and then it was up to me. So I needed to start some business and progress from there. And it's just been go since then. We got engaged, had the baby 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Business launched like last month, so it's just been literally go, which is great though. I love it.
And he's still 21.
Still 21. I'm only 21, guys. Look great, don't I? 21 forever.
It's crazy, mate. Though it's how like
story.
18 months changed on its head.
No, literally. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's actually mad. I think about it sometimes, because I think when you're in the rat race, you can really struggle to be present and also reflect on what you have achieved in that period of time.
Yeah.
Because I look back, what are we in? It's October now.
October.
So 7 months ago, I had no job, or like no clients.
Yeah.
No car, like nowhere to live.
Yeah.
No baby, no business, like no
ring,
no fiance. I had not like thing. And then because you're so busy, like step, day by day, you look back and you're like, whoa, that's happened in 7 months. I think that's also something I try and preach is I want people to, although work hard, and once you've done one thing, tick it off next one, really acknowledge those goals that you've hit, whether it's fitness or life. Like sometimes I sit there, especially now with the little one, I sit there and
I never think that. I'd never think that from you.
It's like, wow, what an amazing achievement. It's awesome.
Well, you probably changed your life around.
Yeah, it's crazy. Sometimes I say, what the hell happened?
Yeah. Jake Wheeler, when I first met him at Spellthorne.
I know. Some man there.
Oh, mate. So what would you say like the biggest lesson you learnt from travelling?
There's a bigger world to wherever you're from, whatever town you're from, whatever city you're in. There's so much more out there.
Yeah.
And once you get out of it, you'll realise that we live in a bit of a time machine, I'd call it, because I left in total, I'd say was probably traveling for like a couple of years, on and off. Like, come home for whatever reason, but on and off for a couple of years. Every time I came back, everything was the same. Maybe there's a new coffee shop opened up in the high street or whatever. You'd speak to your friends, what have you been up to? Same old, work out on the weekend, and it's like, damn, there are some big things out there that are completely achievable. It doesn't cost that much money. You can get to these places for relatively cheap and live there for very cheap. That's definitely the biggest lesson, because you see these people living their lives every day. Nomads, there's so many nomads out there, and you're like, wow. And it's like, how can I get to that? How can I live this chilled life? Especially when you go to other cultures.
Yeah.
I can tell you, a few friends and I were going to an island in Thailand. It's like a boat tour day, and the island was about 20-minute drive away. So we got there at 9 o'clock for this guy to drive us to the island. Drove us over 20 minutes, and then he said, what time are you going to want to go back? I said, well, we'll leave about 5, so 9 to 5, if you want to get here for 4:30. He was like, don't worry about it, I'll just chill. So he just fell asleep in the boat or under a tree, whatever it was, and then waited for us to finish. We'd already paid him. He could have gone back to try and get more. Didn't care. He had some money, and he was like, don't worry about it, I'll just wait.
Relaxation, isn't it?
Yeah, what a lifestyle.
Mindset.
Just had a bit of money, like, was it March? Can't remember what it was, like 50 quid maybe.
Yeah.
And he was, don't worry about it, guys, I'll just chill, wait. That's it. And like, that's how.
Yeah.
That's how. I don't know about you, but I always get caught in two minds of, do I just want to live a really subdued, quiet life where I work a few hours, fun, relax.
Yeah.
And then, or do I
put your foot in it and go for more like a high wealth than anything else?
That's it. That's it. That's why I always think, like, do I want to leave a legacy, or do I just want to
just get through life,
have a good, good, fun, comfortable life? I think I've pushed for the former.
Yeah. I think your fiance's pushing you for it.
Yeah.
She's like,
now we need 5 Jews. Look at that, 10 kids.
Yeah, you're in trouble, mate. Oh dear. No.
But definitely there's a bigger world, and you can go and get it. It's really achievable to go to.
Yeah. So, as you said, you're a dad now.
Yeah.
What is life like a dad?
It's easy. It's awesome. I know. People keep telling me not to say that, because not everyone has an easy one. But for me personally, it's easy. You know, my partner's breastfeeding, so she has more of the physical demand, like hormonal. So I can't help with that. I can't speak for that. Like, it might be really, she says she's fine, but it might be really difficult for her. I can't speak for that.
Yeah.
Personally, as a man, I find it easy, and there are some challenges, of course. Like, baby doesn't sleep through the night.
Yeah.
So you don't get full night's sleep. You're always thinking in the back of your mind, like, wherever you are, like, oh, I better get home quick, blah, blah.
Yeah. Spending a lot of time.
It's all worth it, if that makes sense. It's not like you're having a hard life for something that doesn't have a reward.
Yeah.
It's so rewarding. Like, just sitting there.
Chilling.
Best thing. And like I said, it has its challenges, but it's really not that bad for what you get. Yeah. It's not like, oh, it's really hard, but it's kind of good. It's kind of hard, but it's so good. Yeah. Like, there's no... Maybe ask me again in 2 months. Yeah, I might say a different thing, but...
A couple of years' time or something like that. Terrible twos and stuff like that.
But then it's just like, get on with it. Again, like, get on with it. Like, it's not... Life's not easy. It's not as if when you have a kid, everyone says to you, it's the hardest thing in the world, but it's the best. No one ever says to you... Everyone says that, sorry, like, going into it.
Yeah.
I don't get how people are still, oh my God, it's so hard. What are you doing?
Do you do the night shifts?
Well, I can't feed her, because obviously I'm not breastfeeding, and she hasn't started extracting that bottle feeding yet.
Yeah.
Do I wake up with them? Yeah, I wake up with them. I change her nappy if she needs it at the time. I try and see if my partner's all right, and then this week she actually a couple of days ago, she was like, "Don't worry about it. You can just go back to sleep. No problem."
Yeah.
Bosh, earplugs. I must see you later.
Hamper princess.
But you know, as BT, like we don't sleep that much anyway.
No.
Sleep is overrated.
Yeah. Sleep is overrated. We're in the gym, what, 6 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
Leaving until like 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah, it could be. It depends on the day. I
Yeah.
try it. But yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Definitely as a summary though, if you're thinking about have a kid. It's great.
There you go. That's sold there.
And yeah,
Really sold it. I still not believe you're a dad. That just can't.
I said all that to get the good books with the missus. So
Yeah.
hope you're listening.
So balancing life as a dad.
Yep.
What's your training like these days then?
Terrible.
No,
it's good. So pre-baby, I really put the foot on the gas. Stop drinking.
Yep.
I have ABS. I had a drink on my birthday with my friends. One of a couple of times this year. I've been really select with it because I don't know if anyone else feels like this, but when I drink, it's a 3-day hangover now, 4-day even. Not necessarily feeling hungover, but if you go out on the Saturday, by Wednesday you're like, okay, I'm fine. But Monday, Tuesday, you're still groggy. You're not productive. You're not putting it into work.
Yeah.
And which is imperative for the likes of us who rely on providing a good service.
Yeah, being a high performer.
Yeah, if I provide a poor service to someone, they may tell X amount of people that Jake was a bad PT.
Yeah.
Like might have been because I had a drink. So I cut the drink out. When I cut the drink out from my birthday to pre-baby, I was smashing it.
Yeah.
Nothing could stop me. And then as any kind of life event, baby, holidays, a new job, training comes away a little bit, which is fine.
Sacrifices the time.
Which is fine, and that's something you have to do. So I got back in this week, twice this week, 3 times actually. So it's not terrible.
Yeah.
Just shorter sessions, 30 minutes, 35 minutes. And this is why I try and preach so much to people. If you stay in shape, you don't have to get in shape.
Yeah.
So I have 10 years of training experience. Probably over those 10 years, at least 3 times a week, every week.
Yeah.
Over those 10 years.
Minimum routine.
Yeah, and then you have more intense bouts and you have less intense bouts.
Yeah.
But that means that when you have those less intense bouts, you're okay because you can manage because of all of the experience you've had. When I was traveling for that time, obviously I didn't really train that much. I kept my physique in fairly good condition.
Mate, you've still got fucking abs.
And everyone said, what is the key to staying in shape when you're away? And I wanted to be blunt and saying, it's really easy. All you do is you stay active, you eat relatively well, and you train for 10 years before you go away. Because it's true. It is true. If you're out of shape and you do a 10-week cut, get into shape for a holiday, a 12-week cut, wherever it might be, great. I'm sure you'll look good for day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, then day 5, day 6. And then what happens after that? You're not sustainable anymore. I read a study done.
Yeah.
And it was and I don't know if you find this personally, but I definitely do. If you ever find that no matter what you eat and no matter what you drink, you'll find your body going back to a natural weight. And then if you go above that, so you eat more calories, blah, 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 you do put on weight. Then when you lose weight, you get back to that weight and you find it hard to get below that weight. Like I find personally, I have like a natural weight.
What's your natural weight?
About 75, 76 kilos.
Yeah.
I find if I eat loads, still kind of hover around there. And if I cut a bit, and then as soon as if I cut to 71,
and
then if I have a burger out, I'll be 75. Like all of them are sudden. And my body wants to. And I read this study that it said if you hold a weight for around 11 months, I'd have to find the study.
Yeah.
If you hold a weight for around 11 months, your body almost like sticks to it, and that becomes that natural weight.
Yeah.
It does make sense. And whether that is because of a physiological reason or whether that is because of a lifestyle reason, I don't know. So it could be one or the other. But I found it really interesting, and I try to convey with my clients, get to where you want to be and then hold it for that period of time.
But the hardest part is maintaining it.
It is difficult. I do agree it is difficult, but what's difficult about it is in when you actually break it down, it's not that hard.
Yeah.
As in the more difficult things is the mental aspect of it.
Yeah. I think, well, from common previous experiences, it's more, say if you're eating your calories so low,
Yeah.
you're doing gym sessions nearly every day and cardio as well.
Yeah.
Something's going to give there.
Something does give.
Yeah.
And that's why we're going to go off on a bit of a tangent here.
Here we go. We loves that.
I know, because this is controversial. And I've not said this out loud yet. And it could be a bit
make the podcast go viral.
It's bad, all right? Okay, because I've been thinking about saying it and it is really bad. But I'm going to say it anyway.
Yeah, it's probably...
No, so we often, I'm trying to get the words right here because it could come across really badly.
Yeah.
We often glorify huge weight loss transformations, and that is amazing. When someone loses 10 stone from going to obese to moderately to a healthy weight, that is fantastic, and I want to get that in there. But my problem with it is why do we get to that? Why do we allow ourselves to get that unhealthy anyway? And it's like trying to address that as a more of an issue,
like a pre-stage.
It's like, it's like, why do we allow our children to be overweight, for example? Why do we allow our society, you have fast foods and higher calorie foods for such cheap prices that become so accessible? And I'm like, why do we allow this? I don't want to glorify that huge transformation because it shouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be happening. Like in America, this is the first year, but life age expectancy actually went down. In the UK, almost 2/3 of the population are overweight or obese. 2/3. There was a study done by Ninja, the blend.
Oh, yeah.
Study done by Ninja that suggested that up to 50% of households in London have a takeaway 2 to 4 times a week.
Crazy.
Like, how is this okay? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the problem that I want to address rather than prevention. Prevention is always better.
Prevention, and
because then you don't need to be on the high, like really low calories.
Yeah.
Because you're.
But then I also think that it's probably a massive can of worms to open up, to get going, because there's so many other factors it could be.
Yeah.
Having a divorce, you could have lost your
mental health. Yeah, no, I do understand.
You could have been injured. There's
of course, and that's why it's controversial to say. And of course, I don't want to go into those things because they are above my pay grade. But as a rule, it's a bit of a generalization, and of course there are specific cases. But as a general rule, a lot of people are overweight now due to habit and due to what they see.
Yeah.
So if you are, I need to get I might have to fact check me on this one.
I say there's a lot of wrong information out there and people follow that very quickly.
Yeah, for sure. And the ones that say I'm just built bigger or something like that, that you can be genetically predisposed, yes. But if you are, you might have to fact check me on this.
Here we go.
If your parents are lean, you are about a 1% likelihood of being overweight. If your parents are lean and in shape, which is pretty big, I think. And that just shows it's kind of monkey see, monkey do. But there are many, many factors at play with obesity, and it is a condition, so it should be always speak to your GP. But I'm just speaking on a preventive method.
Yeah.
Because then you don't have to do those ultra low calories, ultra hard diets, because your life is just more
set up.
continuing balance. You don't have to have these intense bouts because you didn't like put on X amount of weight in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is one of those, like, you've got to be careful where you got it from.
Of course. I think it's very easy for me to say as a lean person. But I'm looking at it as a more systemic problem.
Yeah.
Than individual. I'm not attacking any individuals. I'm just saying that as a society, we should
do more for health.
Yeah, the amount of effort we put into glorifying those transformations, we should put into stopping them in the first place.
Yeah.
Because it's amazing to see when someone turns their life around. I absolutely love it. I love it. And I have clients that have lost X amount of weight, and I think it's amazing. And I'm glad to be a part of it. But I would rather put in those preventative methods to start with, so that we're not in that place.
All right. So, Jake, as we know, we're a personal trainer as well. So where is your business going? Because I know you've just launched a new business.
Yeah. So it's called Vitality Fitness and Rehab. And it is, kind of about what we've been speaking about, where it's not just your regular. So I actually studied a level 4 in cardiac rehab from the British Association of Cardiovascular Prevention.
Yeah.
And
upgraded that apprenticeship.
Yeah, I've upgraded the apprenticeship now, just a little bit. And so I worked in a couple of rehab schemes where people, basically how our NHS works is if you right now had a heart attack, you would go into hospital, obviously, to be treated. That is like a phase 1, where they may give you a stent, bypass, whatever the problem is, they'll treat you then and there.
Yeah.
You then have phase 2, which is recovery, and they will talk to you about lifestyle modifications and education, etc., food, that kind of thing, whatever got you into the problem, stress management, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Then you have a phase 3, which is usually a 12-week, can be 16, 12-week program in hospital where they rehab you into everyday life. And then they refer you to a community-based rehab scheme. And that community-based rehab scheme can be your local leisure centre, outdoors, they could refer them to me, that kind of thing. And it's basically getting people who have had either cardiac incidents or they have a condition, could be obesity, osteoarthritis, could have had a stroke, hypertension, number of things, joint replacement, lower back pain, etc. And the role as the community-based scheme is to basically give that person the best quality of life that they can have. And I loved it when I worked in it. Yeah. So I wanted to develop my own thing because I saw rooms for improvement in each scheme I worked in. So I wanted to develop my own one. And I just went live with it about 4 weeks ago. It's great. I love it. I'm currently working with people on a one-to-one basis in that respective field.
Yeah.
And also I want to push, like I said, about the prevention is better than cure. Because it's amazing working with these people who have incredible stories, by the way.
Oh, mate, 100%.
One of the ladies I had, before I met her, she died last year, had a heart attack, died. I don't train a zombie. She was resuscitated.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Resuscitated, went through a rehab and now lives a pretty normal life, which is amazing. But again, it's about prevention. Why did she have that heart attack relatively early? And I want to get on that. And there's a condition called sarcopenia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was, I think it finally got passed as a disease in America in 2016.
Yeah, it's only just come on the surface of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And although it's new in terms of its name, it's been in us for many, many years, many generations. That since we were, I don't know, evolved from wherever we evolved from.
Yeah.
And it's basically the loss of muscle mass, atrophy, usually associated with aging. It doesn't have to be, but it's loss of muscle mass associated with aging that then impacts our functional life. So when you see people, they have that hunch and walking forward because they've lost the muscles in in the mid to upper back
Yeah.
that help erect the spine.
Yeah.
Lost that. Or the shuffle,
Yeah.
when they can't walk very fast.
Yeah.
Sarcopenia. When you have loss of strength, equally loss of balance, then it can lead to things like osteoporosis. So then if you fall because of your loss of balance or loss of power, you can then break bones. And it's at the base of all mortalities. No matter if you have even if you have like a cancer that has attacked you and you've lost muscle because of that, and you've lost strength because of the chemo or the cancer, and you're now in a position of being more frail. That is sarcopenia.
I see it with a lot of my Parkinson's clients.
Yeah, you can imagine it.
Yeah.
The
shuffle and everything like that.
And that is, although Parkinson's may be their forefront condition,
Yeah.
sarcopenia is in there.
Yeah.
And can reverse sarcopenia. It's harder to reverse rather than prevent.
Yeah.
We start to lose muscle mass in our 30s, about 8% a decade, if untrained with the resistance training. So I'm trying to push and trying to be that pioneer to bring resistance training to a generation that it may not have been as common when they were our age. Like our age, everyone gyms. Not everyone, but a lot of people.
Everyone was active.
A lot of people gym, and the benefits of, say, gym and resistance training are apparent for us.
Yeah.
For our parents or anyone over 40, I don't like to put in that number on it, but anything over that kind of age, the gym wasn't as a big deal.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, you could say. And I'm trying to bring resistance training and fitness and the benefits of that to that demographic. Trying to improve independence mostly. Like I see my grandma, you know how I feel about my grandma.
Yeah.
And I see my grandma.
The stories that he tells about his grandma. Oh God.
And like I see my grandma and my granddad passed away, but my grandma and my granddad, and they aged pretty poorly, to be honest. And I see other grandparents of a similar age who are still hiking.
Yeah.
Who are playing with their great grandchild, and I thought, maybe it's just luck of the draw, but it's not luck of the draw. You can do anything about it.
Yeah.
You really can. At any age as well, you can improve functional ability. Even, did you watch that Netflix documentary with the 5-year-old kids spent time with the grandparent? No, they weren't grandparents, like kids and parents, like a nursery.
It was a documentary.
Yeah, it's on. Docu-series, and even just playing around with these kids, being a bit more active and a bit more positive, they saw functional improvement.
Yeah.
Leading them to be less frail. And I was like, that's amazing. They're improving their lives at that age. They're improving their quality of life. So that was my thought process behind the business. And I just want to keep pushing that, basically. I want to be the Joe Wicks
of older people.
For middle to late adulthood.
Yeah,
I'm not going to be like, put it in the oven, 350 degrees, bosh. It's hopefully more of an educational aspect.
So you're going to be starting a YouTube little home workouts.
Maybe I'll get up there. I'm not ruling anything out.
Yeah, do it, mate. Why was you? Give it a go.
Yeah.
So, what was the biggest lesson you learned in fitness? Just one.
One lesson.
One biggest lesson you learned
in fitness.
In fitness.
Okay. Resistance training beats everything else because it has the best bang for your buck, to put it in layman's.
Yep.
The benefits you can get from resistance training transfer into everyday life, sport, like physique, composition, general strength, like just the best bang for buck. And it's not for everyone. Like I have a lot of people who love HIIT, and I think it's kind of a bit pointless, or people are like, I want to lose weight, they sit on the cross trainer for an hour.
Yeah.
It's like, it's great to get your expenditure up or whatever, but here's a perfect example of it. Because if you manipulate your tempo, your reps, your sets, you will improve your cardiovascular system anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway. So when I went away traveling, I was rehabbing a knee surgery once, the first time years ago, and I went away with one of our friends, Jamie,
Yeah.
and we went away for a similar time. I think he might have even been a little bit longer than I. And he ran a lot, and I didn't run once. I went to the gym, and I just lifted weights, but I did it I did the peripheral heart action training. So, when you do lower body, upper body, lifting heavy, got strong. I was getting stronger, but obviously because I was doing 2 heavy exercises back to back, 8 reps, it's kind of about 45 seconds sets. So I was getting some cardiovascular work in there. I didn't run at all. After 6 months of being away, or something like that, 4 months, whatever it is, Jamie and I went for a run. He'd been running. I hadn't done a single run. And I still was keeping up with him, if not even when the hills were there, I was a little bit better.
Yeah.
And then after we sat down, I was like, I've not run.
Not run at all.
Not run at all, but I had the benefits of resistance training, and I had the benefits in terms of strength, and like my joints were good, like I was rehabbing the injury.
Yeah.
So I just felt that if I can push anyone towards anything and teach anyone anything, just resistance training. Do you agree with that?
I agree. I do agree.
Because there's just nothing more functional. Like, a lot of people think of HIIT and stuff as functional training.
It's not.
It's not functional training. Doing a donkey kick isn't a functional exercise. Doing a deadlift.
Donkey kick on a stairmaster.
Yeah. Oh, what are you talking? Functional. That's my edit.
So then, what is the biggest lesson you've learned as a dad?
As a dad.
Yeah.
So it's early days.
I know it's early days.
It's early days. It is early days. The biggest lesson I've learned as a dad is, I've got a couple actually. One, women are incredible.
Spitting that out there.
Spit it out there, because I think
What's dinner later?
Yeah, partner will be listening. Women are incredible because going through, say for example, you ran a marathon today. Tomorrow you'll recover.
Yeah.
Childbirth is one of the most physically exhausting things I've ever seen in my life. And when people tell you not to look, don't look. I looked and I regret it. Anyway, but the way you exert, oh my God, it's incredible. Like, we didn't sleep for a couple of days, and she's going through this heavy, intense labour, pushing energy, like completely zapping you.
Yeah.
And you've got this baby, and then the next day you can't recover. You're now like, right, I've got to feed her straight away.
It's like back at school, remember?
Oh my God.
Getting that flour.
I think the flour's a bit easier, but like, it's amazing. I was tired.
Yeah.
I got 10 hours sleep. Like, as in, I had to go home that night. April didn't get there. She was straight up, boom.
Yeah.
So really is incredible. That is one thing. And the other is, it definitely puts life into perspective of, you have to, one of my friends asked me this actually the other day, like, does your whole perspective change on things? And yes, it does.
Yeah.
Because
your child.
Again, it comes down to sacrifices. So everyone says, I'm busy, whatever it is. Time is precious, yeah. And you just have to decide what you're going to sacrifice. Because for me, I really want to do well in work. I want to provide a good value and provide a bit of a legacy.
Yeah.
So I know that that's going to be a portion of my time. Now, I also like to train. I also like to box. I like to whatever.
Yeah.
So now the rest of my time is getting shorter and shorter. And it means that you have to sacrifice, because you want to see your child and your family and your child grow up. You have to sacrifice other things in your life. And unfortunately, like, it's just part of it. And then definitely, it definitely puts into perspective what is important.
Yeah.
100%.
So where do you see the fitness world going right now then?
Well, everything seems to be going online.
Yeah.
And I understand why. Because obviously and I wasn't on board with it. I want to get that on record first. I didn't like it at first. I thought It was a waste. There's nothing that you could get, that is better than one-to-one PT. And I still stand by that, to say that there is nothing better than in-person, one-to-one,
Face to face.
with a coach who knows what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Nothing better, because they tweak things, they see things. You have the personal connection. You can lean on that person emotionally, whatever it might be. So there is nothing better than that. But to be able to provide that value to now more people online is amazing. I think that if people can't afford face-to-face PT because it's expensive, they are able to get similar levels of coaching through their phone, which is great.
Yeah.
So I definitely see online training continuing to grow. I think that what we will see constantly is, as we always have, is fads.
Yeah.
And right now, I think there's a bit of a fad on CrossFit, on HIIT gyms, on like High Rocks or whatever it's called, that kind of thing. I think this is currently the fad.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago it was Peloton. A couple of years ago it was spinning. A couple of years ago it was hot yoga. Like, there will be a period.
There is a trend. Yeah.
And right now, I think that the CrossFit, HIIT, S&C kind of styled workout gym things have probably got maybe 2 years left, and then the new thing will come in.
Yeah.
And it will be something like, I don't know, spinning with boxing or something like that. Like, it'll be a new
spinner in a sauna room or something like that.
Something like that will come on,
spin.
and then and it will come on, and then the next one, and it will always do that. And although these fads are great, I don't want to call CrossFit a fad, because it is a sport, obviously, and it's amazing what the athletes do. But I think it doesn't take long before what they're doing is you're pairing these difficult sports, like weightlifting. I don't know if you've ever tried powerlifting or Olympic lifting.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It's hard. It's
to do it clean.
Yeah.
The technique is hard. So snatch technique is hard. Running is hard. Like, they're all of these incredibly difficult sports that people take years of their life to put together.
Yeah.
And they are putting untrained athletes like Jenny, 36 from accounting, who's overweight, is now coming to CrossFit snatching. Oh, herniated disc, what a surprise. Like, and I think that CrossFit and that has a couple of years left before it's refined for more athletic people, which in my opinion it should be. Because you shouldn't be, especially when you look at it from a health perspective, if someone has a underlying health condition, to do a CrossFit workout, it's just mental. It's against the grain. So I think that you will see a dip in that over the next couple of years, and then probably the next fad will come up.
See it. Hot spin.
Hot spin. You heard it here first.
Yeah. So last question, and it is, when starting a journey as a beginner, what is the first thing you focus on?
Fitness journey.
Yeah.
Okay. Fundamentals, always. Fundamentals. It is, I can't recommend this enough, is get a coach. You have, like, something that is very irritating in the industry. If I don't know how to swim, I don't just go to the pool. I get a swimming coach.
Yeah.
If I want to learn how to, I don't know, play pool or snooker or something, like, you would hire a coach. If I go to boxing, I hire a coach.
Yeah.
It seems like the gym, people have this thing that they think, I can do it. Trust me, you'll save yourself probably a year of learning if you spend 6 weeks with a coach. It will change you for sure. So hire a good coach who cares is a step one. 2, just master the fundamentals. Squat, hinge, row, pull, like deadlift, your lunge, the basics.
Yeah.
And have a bit of a body awareness. Because if you can do those things with confidence, you now open doors. Like, if you struggle with gym fear or gym anxiety, are you going to want to go to a busy gym and not know how to squat? Probably not. You're probably going to go and do a cross trainer, or you're probably going to go and do a little circuit in the corner, which is all great. It's all great to have exercise, but if you can nail the fundamentals first, get those on point, it opens many doors, because now you feel confident. Yeah. Now you feel you can go to a class. Now you feel you can lift a little bit more. And like anything in life, building confidence is
Key.
imperative, mate.
Yeah.
It's so important. Would you agree that that's...
Yeah, 100%.
Because then you have something to lean on as well. If you go to the gym and I don't really know what to do, you know that what you do is correct. You don't feel fear of people looking at you in judgment because what you're doing is correct.
Yeah.
And then you can build on that. But without that...
Yeah. Good question, mate. Good answer.
Thank you, man. Practice that one.
Yeah. All the time in the car.
But yeah, it's just, I don't know. That's the same for me. Like if I went anywhere else, because then no matter what, you can just revert back. And this is what I try and tell people when, even in my workouts, they might get a little bit overwhelmed. It's all right, calm down.
Yeah.
You know you can do this. Take a deep breath. Focus on the basic. Focus on one cue. Just execute that well. And then everything else falls into place. You then calm down. It's like, okay, right, let's go again. Do it again.
So, well, thank you, Jake, for coming on today's podcast.
Awesome. Really enjoyed it.
Been looking to do it for a while, haven't we?
Yeah, sorry that I spoke so much.
That's all right.
I love the sound of my own voice. I actually don't. I hate it. I do like
watching this. Yeah,
I do like talking. So
he's definitely going to be watching this back to back on himself.
Just play it. I'll be sending it to people like, listen to this guy. He knows what he's talking.
Alexa, play my podcast. But no, mate, thank you for coming. Where can everyone find you on socials?
So right now, you can find me on Facebook at Vitality Fitness and Rehab, or on Instagram at Vitality_Rehab_Fitness. Someone had already taken the other one, so yeah, unfortunately that. But any problems, especially associated with something you may have a bit of fear around, whether it be aging well or aging independently, no matter how old you are, like I say, we start losing muscle mass in our 30s. So please reach out, if not to me, if to someone else that you feel confident with, and trust is key.
Love it, mate. Thank you
very much, man.
Well, look at that, mate.
On the dot.